Two-man game, TMG, get the news fast, AMG, game of two boxes. Name two boxers that hit as hard as this. Yeah, we're cutting to the truth, no, there ain't no narrative. Eyes up on the cup this year, hear the stadium erupt this year. For my team, TMG.
Welcome to the TMG podcast with your host JA. TMG.
What episode is it? 116?
116? I got a question for Melo. This guy, he loves America. He loves traveling. So if you were
US of A, baby.
if you were an NBA player,
Yep. Side to side.
and they were like, okay, what state, what team would you not based on the current players, location and place, what team would you want to play for?
Based on this location and vibes.
Location, vibes, and marketing potential.
Ooh. LA's up there. New York's too cold. But New York, obviously, marketing wise, New York is probably number one. Aye. Houston and Dallas. Houston's really piqued my interest. I have a lot of fun in Houston, man. That's me. Dallas, I'm hoping going next year. In fact, I will go next year. Maybe for my birthday. Come through. Oh, you're under pressure now. You gotta come, my boy.
It's your birthday. Dallas, I'm gonna get a new job, so that actually might be viable.
Dallas, Houston, New York, and New Jersey. You heard it here first.
Why New Jersey?
New Jersey's lit. Some parts of Jersey are more entertaining than New York. I want to check out Atlantic City.
That's gambling.
Yeah, man. Let me go for 5 bills down the drain, man. Get used to Vegas, man. You know? You can't take your money when you're gone with you. Can just hand it down to your
Okay,
offspring.
so Vegas is I'm surprised more guys haven't gone Vegas, to be fair.
It's expensive. And most guys complain about going just Atlanta and Houston. Miami's expensive, or Vegas is extra expensive.
So, big boxing event. Remember the dream?
It's still on my to do this.
Yes.
Who knows? I might go for Crawford, but the more TMG progresses, I might go there on the media pass.
You never know. It might be Saudi, might be the big place.
Who knows? I might go there with Elliot.
He might.
It's fine 8th of December. You better be there.
Where is it? Who?
Yeah, after that I got a flight to Manchester for my boy, it's my cousin's.
Is it Friday?
Yeah. So after that fight I need to go catch the next train.
You love Manchester now. You're City man.
You know? City breaks.
I need to go to Etihad.
Oh, that's good. I might go watch a game.
Yeah, there's a game. I need to go to Etihad. So, maybe talking about this, and we were talking about NBA cities. Do you think the move for LeBron to Miami, did that make or break his career? Because this is a key one. I've seen Stephen A talk about it recently. Shannon talk about it. LeBron actually has some pushback about it. Been in the media a lot recently. What do you think about that LeBron move to Miami?
LeBron was sort of been like a great player regardless. How high up the all-time list is up for debate. I still think he would have been able to go to a team because remember him and Wade and Bosch were supposed to plan to go to New York.
It was New York or Chicago?
Yes, so if they went to New York, they would have been very competitive. Probably had a team of success. Obviously, Pat Riley and Spo, probably his best ever coach. Probably just above Ty Lue. Obviously, give him that extra difference. But on the individual level, you sort of put up the similar numbers. Mentally, I don't think it would have been as sharp, as effective, and as strong essentially. But he would still be near enough the same player. Like he said, he himself said he probably have less rings, and that's true. Probably. Yeah, obviously the first round they got to was down to him. The one in the middle 2. And the last one, I think Bosch and Wade were injured, so who knows? I reckon you got 4 rings. I reckon he would have at least 3.
So let's say he didn't go to Miami. Do we have him second all-time if he doesn't go to Miami? Because the Miami thing proceeds everything else that goes on. When would have LeBron won his first championship? When would this all have happened? There's a lot of things that would have.
I reckon he's sort of been a champion. I still think he would have got around 3 rings, as long as he's able to put a sort of correct team around him. yes, Miami helped him like mentally become a leader and blah blah blah, and learn the blueprint. Obviously, Wade was a great help. Yeah, let's assume he still took Wade to wherever he went.
Okay.
Because Wade was obviously a Finals MVP. Wade gave him experience and he taught him a few things how to win, which Wade learned from obviously Pat Riley. Well, obviously being in that key culture, you see, even though they haven't won a ring without him, they've still been very competitive. They still overachieved.
They overachieve every year, basically.
Essentially, so and obviously exposed to a lot of people as the best coach in the game. Pat Riley is probably one of the best executives, one of the best basketball minds ever. So, I don't know, because like I said, I agree with LeBron. He would have probably not won as many rings, but him himself as an individual, you know, near enough the same. Probably had a mentally less clutch, maybe leadership skills not as great. Maybe his numbers have been a bit better. But your numbers, just because you put great numbers doesn't mean you're gonna win. You know what I mean? So, same with like Jordan. If Jordan had thingy, what's his name? Pippen master. What's his name again? The coach?
Krause. Is it? Oh, Krause or Phil Jackson? You're talking
Well,
about
if he
Phil
didn't have Phil Jackson, then Jordan would have 6 rings.
Mm.
He'll still have rings per se, I think. 6, nah. Phil Jackson has 9 rings.
Yeah, it's true, but we can say that the Miami decision is probably the biggest like move in basketball history. Do you get what I mean? It's not like there's nothing really comparable to it.
Yeah.
And that's why people place a lot of onus on that man, because he kind of changed this whole era
He did, yeah.
of basketball. If that move doesn't happen, KD never goes to Golden State.
Yeah.
But what happens to Golden State then? Like all this player empowerment, all these player moves, they don't happen without LeBron doing that move and empowering players to actually take their careers into their own ownership and not into the.
What do you think about it though? You think it's still been the same, as successful, more successful, less successful?
I think LeBron would have won a championship. I don't know how many. Maybe he have like 2, 3.
Yeah. 2,
3, maybe 3 max. But Miami really taught him how to win, and that's the thing. It taught him how to win. He had his greatest failure there. He had his greatest success there. What would he have been without that? He's 2010. LeBron. Do you know what? Yeah, if LeBron hadn't won there, he might have been just Karl Malone, a Karl Malone kind of guy, you know.
Nah. I reckon they'll win. Yeah, but he took them to the finals with nobody.
He took them to the final, but what was happening after those years?
They lost,
if he stayed at the
they
Cavs,
lost to the big 3 at Celtics. Just long as you were able to get him another star level player, I reckon you would.
I don't know that, but the Cavs then weren't competent enough to get him another player.
Yeah,
he would have been stuck there for a while.
I said if he didn't stay the Cavs, then yeah, the Cavs could get done. That's what he didn't say. Sign crazy long contracts. Want another team with another star. You know,
I'm not gonna. It's not come. I feel like he'll just been that guy on the precipice, like just there. Eventually, he would have done it. But then, do you know when you spend so many years trying to do that to get the first one, what would have happened for his second one? Does he ever go to LA? Does that happen? Does he just stay in Cleveland? Like the Miami thing gave LeBron confidence to make the moves that he's done now. He's always let himself be in control of a franchise, never the franchise be in control of him. I think he learned a lot from Pat Riley though. I think Pat Riley taught him a lot about the game of basketball. D-Wade taught him a lot about just about leadership. He was there. My biggest what if for LeBron is if he doesn't lose to Dallas, do people say he's surpassed Michael Jordan?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I still think there will be a little bit of separation, but they will be very nip and tuck. Like I said, I've always said, if I remember correctly, it's a 60-40 split. 60 in Jordan's favour, 40 in LeBron's favour. If LeBron wins another finals MVP, then maybe it becomes
55-45.
Maybe 55-45, 53-47, that sort of stuff. But like I said, it's good that they asked this question, they asked what ifs. Now my next one, what if Jordan didn't have Phil Jackson? And I'm on record that I think Phil
You already said that.
No, but that's my next question. I want to push this forward. I already think Michael Jordan's the greatest, and I feel it's an easy enough argument to dismiss LeBron for all the stuff. Because I used to think LeBron was the greatest, but then I done some more research.
I remember those days when you were arguing with those. Was it what side were you on back then? Maybe 2020? What side were you on the argument?
I used to be on LeBron's side, the leisure. But when you learn things, do deep history research, historical research, which people the age don't want to do. Watch the footage, you know. I think it's when I realised Jordan's stats, like his efficiency.
Jordan very efficient.
Once I actually deeped his efficiency, I was like, whoa. And once I actually took in how strong he was in the defensive side of the ball as well. And obviously, when you actually there was a good comparison that I posted. You compare Jordan's rookie year to LeBron's best ever season in Miami. The numbers are basically the same. Like, it's actually crazy.
But then you need to understand, one thing I will always give LeBron credit for, LeBron is not a scorer per se. He actually wants to get people involved. Jordan's issues when he came into the league, he didn't share the ball.
Yeah.
It was very school first. He tried to do things by himself. Phil Jackson taught him how to share the ball, how to include his other teammates. And who knows, as you said, if Phil Jackson never comes in, what happens? Maybe they empower Jordan to the point where he can never learn that skill to share the ball. He can never learn that, pass the Paxson, pass the care. He doesn't do those things.
Yeah.
And they don't overcome.
I still think, if Phil Jackson was there, I still think we would have been a champion. And maybe he got 6 and 6, yes. 1, 2, 3. Because, like, they still got to...
we're getting to the conference finals.
Well, conference finals without Phil Jackson. And obviously Phil Jackson came in and took over the hump. But eventually, who knows? If he doesn't beat the Pistons on the fourth go, I think he lost 3 times in a row. Because I think he lost first round, second round, third round, and he eventually beat them. If he beat them, then they probably stay together for another couple of years. Still beat down on Jordan, but his willpower is just too much. You do it yourself, kid. It's just too much. And eventually, once the Pistons declined with age, I reckon he got to a couple finals, and then that's when he starts to win. But
Jordan is very fortunate that he played with a second star that complemented him to the way that Pippen did.
Of course, as well, when you get to the 90s, obviously that's when Magic was done, Bird was done, and the Pistons were done, and those were his biggest rivals. And so the path would open up, and that's what I'm saying. If that still happened, which he probably would have,
then he would have still won.
Africa still won. But he's very lucky. I mean, in the 90s, they were the only team that had two real stars, apart from
the Magic had some.
Apart from the Jazz with Malone.
Yeah, and Stockton. Magic had one for 2 years. They had O'Neal, Penny. Penny was big, man.
Penny was big. But O'Neal was young. Penny was big, but then obviously I think he had injuries and stuff.
He had injuries.
But flipping, you can't. That's why Karl Malone, I think he got to the finals the most times against him. But Karl Malone is worse than Jordan. And Stockton, you could say. I put it this way: if you would draft those guys, I think you do Jordan first, Malone second, and I think for Pippen's second life.
The way you guys talk about Stockton is serious.
Stockton is cold, but I think Pippen is slightly more effective than Stockton. Rebounds.
But they would have their own team. Stockton's teams will go further than Pippen's teams.
Yeah, because he can organise offenses and but Pippen, especially in the right fit, which he was. As a defensive, like he's one of the best defenders of all time. Rebound is strong. He could score. He could defend, rebound. He could pass. Like he was a wing forward essentially. A point forward as well. So and he learned to play as well. Obviously, he wasn't a clutch guy, so you couldn't really rely on him to be the head of your snake. But I mean,
but then I want to talking about LeBron. We say LeBron is this. If you were to for one series, you had one series for your life. You got a choice of any player. Who were you, what player? What year?
It's Jordan.
Jordan.
Probably 96. 72.
When he came back.
The year after he came back. 72 and 10. Or maybe Jordan.
You don't want 8. Well, what's the one defensive player of the year? 8? Is it 8 and 9?
No, maybe Jordan would be younger, 93 or 92.
93, 92. Well, LeBron, I'll take LeBron 2012. 2012
what I would say,
or 13.
It depends what the rest of my team has. I've always said this. I thought LeBron is better with less. He does more with less, and Jordan's the best.
You don't think any argument for Kawhi Toronto? Because that player run.
A lot of things happened.
That player run to Kawhi was tough.
It was tough, but a lot of things fell in his favour. It must be Devil's advocate. But he's not on Jordan and LeBron's level. I feel Magic in certain years as well. Bird in certain years was above Kawhi. Kawhi and Kobe's close, in my opinion. Shaq, I think Shaq in 02, 01. I'll take him. Hakeem in 95 or 96, one of those years. Definitely. He's up there. Kareem, I think the Bucks, yeah.
When he won it, okay. When he won with Oscar. But if you look at actually playoff runs,
maybe Walt's best year. Dirk's playoff run in 2011 up there.
If you look at playoff runs, Kawhi's one is like statistically, it holds up really well against the other greats.
It does. I mean, he came back down from 2-0 down against Giannis, younger Giannis. I believe, for coaching.
Giannis was poor. Giannis' coaching was poor that year.
And then flipping overcame, I think, the 76ers when Embiid and Simmons were at their best together. Obviously, that last minute shot or last second shot. And we overcame the GSW Golden State. Obviously, KD and Clay went down. But just on that comparison, rookie MJ, MVP LeBron. Points per game, 27.1 for LeBron, 28.2 for MJ. Rebound, 7.9 for LeBron, 6.5 for MJ. Assists, 6.2 for LeBron, 5.9 for MJ. Steals, 1.9 for LeBron, 2.4 for MJ. Blocks is both 0.8.
I think people really underestimate how good a defender Michael Jordan was. Because offensively, when someone is so great, you don't really focus on the defensive part of the game.
I think he basically until maybe his last championship show, where he was probably picking moments. Jordan, both sides of the ball elite, didn't have to slack off on defense as elite. Maybe because he didn't have as much ball handling and playmaking responsibilities as someone like LeBron. Defensively, offensively, two sides of the ball. Of course, there's a transition and playmaking area that's very important. Two sides of the ball.
There's a guy coming up in this game now that some people are comparing to a young version of him.
I said it was.
Yeah.
He's got most of
Hey, but the boy, and obviously he's not. It's kind of blasphemous to say, he say there's lofty standards and set these expectations. But I think Ant has the skills to do it on both sides of the ball. Doesn't have the concentration, doesn't have the decision making that Jordan has. But that kind of shows you how good Jordan is, because Ant is as an athlete probably better than Michael Jordan as an athlete.
I don't know about that. It's very comparable.
Are you sure? Ant is an athlete. Like Ant is he can do. I think he can do everything that Jordan can do as athletically.
It's not just Jordan's vertical jump and his speed and lateral quickness. It's his body control. It's his gracefulness.
Maybe if we're talking about gracefulness, then maybe Kobe's probably the closest.
Hand-eye coordination. Kobe's not as good. Like he can switch from hand to hand. He's the type of tough layups he was doing.
Kobe's Michael Jordan. What did he say? They say he's Michael Jordan light.
Yeah, he is.
Is that like the closest thing you would get?
Yeah, but there's still a difference, like a considerable difference. Like I say, Kobe's like 0.8 of Jordan.
So what's Ant? What 0.5, 0.4?
So right now, I say 0.6. We'll see. Who knows? But Jordan is the Mount Olympus athlete that comes from basketball. In football, it's have a Pele or Messi. In athletics, I say Usain Bolt. In boxing, for me, it's Floyd. You can obviously Ali's up there, and Trey Leonard's up there. In my opinion, but Jordan, right now.
So Jordan is the archetype of what it is. But then we got guys now that are showing it's not all about athletics in sports. It's about the brain. It's about speed of mind.
It's about skills.
Yeah. And that's why the Europeans are going to the NBA now and causing them issues.
Basketball and football are still a skill game. Obviously, athletics is it's physical, but it's still technique is very important. Boxing is a skill game. These are skill games. Like that's the difference between Jordan and Mayweather compared to the other guys. They're most athletic, or they're thereabouts, and also the most skilled. If you combine the two, you have the greatest of all time. LeBron, most athletic.
He's skilled.
He's skilled. I'm not saying he's not skilled. He's very skilled, but he's not as skilled as Jordan.
I heard the stat that he shoots outside of 10 feet from the basket. He shoots 35%.
I'm surprised. That's why I'm having an argument with Inca in our group chat about because he writes for LeBron. Obviously, I'd say it's Jordan. I'm saying, and obviously they have that stats about LeBron's had more clutch game winners in the playoffs, which is fair. Which I think it's true. But clutch time is not just making the last shot. Clutch time. The definition of clutch is what within the last 5 minutes of the game, within 5 points. Look at the stats at that time. If you add in free throws, it's night and day. Clutch time free throws, because I know, according to Skip, LeBron's the worst clutch time free thrower.
Yeah, Skip just.
But if the Skip is right, then it's a fact. Yeah.
Skip a hater though.
He is, but
he doesn't bring out the fact that it's game of the game winners or something like that. If we actually look at last minute game winners, Yeah, he does. LeBron's one is.
But
Okay, he has the most missed ones as well.
Yeah, but the difference is not that big. I think it's like 5 or 6%. And also as well, a big reason why LeBron probably had more shots is because Jordan's teams were winning early before the game, early before that.
I mean, Kobe's got the most missed shots in basketball.
I'm not surprised. Kobe's the most inefficient great player apart from him or AI.
Kobe gets called great for doing it when he doesn't. To be fair, I think AI is kind of overrated.
He is. Kobe and AI overrated. But you can't say that to that because people come in.
But then I think that what they as players they're overrated, but what they meant to the league at that time, the league was in a talent drain. They were very important.
No, they're very important for the league. It's growth, and the way that's why, especially with this fanfare that has now. But some of them as actual players, like.
If AI grew up in this era, you know what they would say about him. They'd be like, the same way they talk about Trae Young, there's the same way they talk about AI.
It's the same way they talk about John Moran, essentially. And
Yeah.
John Moran, before his gun issues, was probably trying to become a better player than AI. But we'll see how he
Bounces back.
because he's a better playmaker, and he's more athletic. And when he wants to engage in defense, he can engage a bit more. AI on defense was apart from making steals, it was terrible. Yeah.